The year was 1156, a time when the countryside of Europe lay draped in an ancient tapestry of mystery and fear. The village of Ravenscroft, nestled deep within the heart of the dense, foreboding forest, was accustomed to the rhythmic ebb and flow of life. Yet, every 7 years, an ominous pall descended upon the hamlet, casting its people into the grips of an unspeakable terror. It was whispered that an ancient evil, dormant for centuries, stirred in the shadows, awaiting the appointed time to emerge. The elders spoke in hushed tones about the harvest of shadows, a malevolent force that fed on the fear and despair of the unsuspecting villagers. As the fateful night approached, the air grew thick with an otherworldly tension. The moon, shrouded in an unnatural mist, cast an eerie glow upon the gnarled branches of the ancient oaks that encircled Ravenscroft. The villagers, having heard the ominous tales from their forefathers, locked themselves indoors, their hearts quickening with each passing hour. In the heart of the village, there stood an ancient chapel, its time-worn stones weathered by the ages. Within its hallowed halls, a group of elders gathered, their faces etched with the weight of the impending doom. A flickering flame cast grotesque shadows on the walls as they consulted tattered manuscripts, desperately seeking a way to stave off the encroaching malevolence. The village had faced the harvest of shadows before, but each time, the entity seemed to grow stronger, more insatiable. Whispers of unspeakable horrors echoed through the haunted woods, tales of missing children, blood-soaked soil, and the anguished wails of those who had crossed paths with the ancient evil. Among the villagers was a young woman named Isabella, her spirit untamed by the trepidation that gripped her kin. Drawn by an inexplicable force, she found herself standing before the chapel, the cold stone beneath her feet resonating with an ancient power. The elders regarded her with a mixture of fear and reverence, recognizing an unspoken destiny etched in the lines of her face. As the dreaded night fell, a haunting wind swept through the village, carrying with it the anguished whispers of 1,000 tormented souls. The air became palpable, charged with a malevolent energy that clung to the skin like a cursed shroud. The villagers, cowering in their homes, prayed fervently for the dawn to break the sinister spell. Isabella, however, felt an unsettling compulsion drawing her into the heart of the forest. Ignoring the pleas of the elders, she ventured into the shadowed abyss, guided by an unseen force. The dense canopy overhead swallowed the moonlight, casting her path into an inky abyss. As she navigated the twisted labyrinth of ancient trees, the air became dense with a suffocating malevolence. The forest seemed to come alive with sinister whispers, the very earth beneath her feet resonating with the pulse of an ancient heartbeat. Isabella pressed on, determined to confront the evil that gripped her village. Deeper into the woods, she stumbled upon an ancient altar, adorned with grotesque carvings depicting unspeakable horrors. The air crackled with an unholy energy, and a malevolent presence stirred, coalescing into a shapeless form before her. The harvest of shadows had awakened. Isabella, undeterred by the sheer malevolence that loomed before her, confronted the entity with unwavering courage. The shadows seemed to writhe and contort, coalescing into nightmarish shapes that whispered tales of forgotten sins and ancient atrocities. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp as the entity sought to ensnare Isabella in its suffocating embrace. The villagers, sensing a shift in the cosmic balance, gathered at the edge of the haunted woods, their eyes wide with terror. The elders, torn between despair and hope, clung to ancient incantations, their feeble attempts to banish the malevolence proving futile. Isabella, her spirit intertwined with an ancient power, faced the harvest of shadows in a battle that transcended the mortal realm. As tendrils of darkness lashed out, she summoned an inner strength, a radiant light that repelled the encroaching shadows. The very ground trembled as the cosmic forces clashed in a cataclysmic struggle for dominion. The village, ensconced in an oppressive silence, witnessed a spectacle beyond the confines of mortal understanding. Isabella, bathed in an ethereal glow, stood as a beacon of defiance against the ancient evil that sought to consume her world. Time blurred in the ethereal battleground as Isabella delved into the memories of the entity. She glimpsed the atrocities of ages past, the darkness woven into the very fabric of existence. The harvest of shadows, born from the collective sins of humanity, hungered for the despair that fueled its insatiable appetite. With a surge of divine energy, Isabella unearthed the forgotten sins that bound the entity to the mortal plane. As the revelations unfolded, the malevolent force recoiled, its form contorting in agony. Isabella, guided by an innate wisdom, channeled the collective will of the villagers, a unified resolve that shattered the ancient shackles binding the harvest of shadows. A blinding light engulfed the forest, banishing the oppressive darkness that had plagued Ravenscroft for centuries. The villagers, emerging from the safety of their homes, beheld a transformed world. The haunted woods, once suffused with dread, now teemed with life and vitality. Isabella, her body adorned with ethereal radiance, stood at the edge of the ancient altar, the embodiment of triumph over ancient malevolence. The elders approached her with a mixture of awe and gratitude, recognizing in her the savior of Ravenscroft. As the dawn painted the sky with hues of gold and crimson, the villagers gathered in a solemn procession to the chapel. Isabella, now a revered figure, led them in a ritual of gratitude, an acknowledgement of the courage that had shattered the cycle of despair. The harvest of shadows, vanquished by the indomitable spirit of one courageous soul, faded into the annals of forgotten nightmares. Ravenscroft, freed from the shackles of ancient terror, embraced a new era of hope and renewal. But as Isabella looked into the horizon, she knew that the shadows, though banished for now, lingered at the fringes of existence, waiting for the veil between worlds to thin once again. The tale of the harvest of shadows became a cautionary legend, a reminder that the ancient evils of the past could never truly be extinguished, only held at bay by the flickering flame of courage and unity.